What was so special about growing up here was its community, and I grew up knowing my classmates very well from preschool all the way to the end of high school.
The Emoto family is Kauaʻi through and through. JABSOM's second-year student, Jamie, was born and raised in Lihue. Mom Enna was born here too. She grew up on the west side of Kauaʻi in a plantation home in the town formerly known as Mana. It's now farmland. For nearly 30 years, she was a secretary at the Department of Health on Kauaʻi, working face-to-face with the community at dozens of immunization clinics throughout the decades. Jamie's dad, Myron, was a mail carrier and knew everyone on his route by name.
We knew our neighbors really well. We knew my mom's and my dad's friends really well. Having that sense of community, that sense of warmth was something that was really special and really became a part of me, and definitely influenced how I grew up.
A couple of times a year, Jamie would get a taste of city life by visiting her cousins in Honolulu.
So it was always exciting to visit Oahu and to be able to do experiences with them, spend time with them. But deep down inside, there's always just been that I need to go home.
It was on those trips where she realized access to medical care was easier on Oahu than it was at home.
I think at a very young age, something that was very prominent in the community and something that was always talked about was using air ambulances or people having to travel to other islands for healthcare.
For Enna, it was something she witnessed firsthand.
I accompanied my husband and then also my elderly parents to Oahu for medical or surgical services that probably couldn't have been done here.
That was something that I just thought was a part of everyday normal life for me. I didn't really think about it when I was younger. But then growing up and being able to learn more about other communities and other people and other islands and even the mainland, there is such a stark difference that it isn't very normal.
Those trips made an impact. It was in elementary school when Jamie, who looked up to her pediatrician, decided she wanted to be a doctor.
He was such a great role model for me that I was like, oh, I want to be an adult like him. And then eventually it became, oh, I want to be a doctor like him too.
Jamie never strayed from the goal to not just be a doctor, but be a doctor on Kauaʻi.
The goal for me has always been to come home.
But never did she think she would land on the fast track back to her childhood home. The Kauaʻi Medical Training Track was launched during her first year at JABSOM. It's a program that selects 6 JABSOM students from each incoming class to live, learn, and train on the Garden Isle.
Wow, like I can't believe that this all came about in the way that it did and the timing and everything. I just felt so grateful. I had to really make sure that I wasn't dreaming.
The funding comes from Dr. Priscilla Chan and Mark Zuckerberg. They cover the students' tuition, and in exchange, the students get to know the healthcare systems, the culture, and most importantly, the people of Kauaʻi. When the students complete their residency years, they're committing to practice on Kauaʻi for at least 4 years.
When this opportunity came, it just felt so right. It felt like this is my time to really try for an opportunity that will allow me to do the things that I've always wanted to do and give back to the community that I always was wanting to give back to.
This house in Lihue serves as both home and classroom. KMTT students join class virtually and conduct exams here too. But the essential part of the program is weaving students into the fabric of the community. Even homegrown students, like Jamie, are learning new things each day.
I've only experienced Kauaʻi from being a resident here or like when I was in school. So seeing it from a different lens, like a medicine lens, but having that mentorship and that support from the community, I felt like I was seeing Kauaʻi through a whole different lens. I was able to have opportunities that allowed me to see the community in different ways and seeing it through a lens that I was very passionate about, which is medicine.
A big part of being a medical student is learning and observing physicians in the clinics. It's no different for the KMTT. It came full circle for Jamie because her preceptor is her pediatrician, the doctor who inspired her years ago.
Being able to shadow him and learn from him as a medical student was something that I thought was so valuable and so amazing. I was reaching my goal of learning from the person that was such a turning point in my path toward medicine.
The ultimate goal of the Kauaʻi Medical Training Track is to bring more physicians to rural areas like the Garden Isle, to hopefully end the decades-long custom of flying to Oahu for treatments.
I think it'll be so much better because just thinking back of when, like the medical care I had when I was younger, to what I see now, I think it's going to be such a big improvement.
A federal grant to help establish a JABSOM family medicine residency program on Kauai came through this year. So when Jamie graduates in 2026, there's a chance she won't have to leave home for residency. She'll be here to care for her family and the community who raised her.
I mean, it's such a great opportunity for her, and then for, like, my husband and I were talking and we were saying that it's just such a good feeling to know that Jamie will be able to help and to care for, like, the people of this community. It just means a lot to us.